Good morning, everybody. Hey, my name is Ron Tucker. Welcome to my show. It's called At Ron's Talking. I am the host, along with my sidekick up there, Donald the Clown. He's still hanging around. Honestly, folks, it's about almost 3 in the morning here in Arizona. And if you're wondering why I'm up so late, it's because I'm very passionate about the things that I'm doing, especially when I'm trying to throw my voice out there to the public just to let people who don't know exactly how much of a danger we're in with this crazy, maniacal, just idiotic president that's in office right now who ain't really doing a damn thing but just destroying the fabric and the structure of our government. If you think we were doing bad with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, if y'all can't see what's going on right now with this moron and his acolytes and his idiotic and stupid and incompetent cabinet picks that he's making, and he ain't doing nothing but run around signing executive orders and creating chaos in every area except the shit that he promised he was going to do, which I knew he was lying out his damn ass. He's been doing that for 8 years. Well, really, I'm sorry. He's been doing that for decades, ever since he was a rat back in New York. But now it's just incredible how the American people can just allow this scumbag, this crook, to run this country again. And all he's doing is doing just what he did the first time, running it into the ground. This time, we all know, well, he got the power of a Republican Senate and Republican Congress and got the Supreme Court basically in his palm of his hands. And he's got law enforcement now because he's putting all these people like Hexeth in the Secretary of Defense position, lying ass Pam Bondi and her crooked, self-serving ass as a damn attorney general. Lord have mercy, they're trying to put Kash Patel in, and him and all of them. The first thing they do is lie their way into a confirmation, and for some reason, Democrats, some of them, want to go along with these fucking liars. And no, they're lying. No, they're going to say anything and everything to get that damn job. And everybody knows, everybody that Trump has nominated is going to be his loyalists. What in the hell makes anybody think that they were going to do otherwise? I mean, it's just utterly insane. I know the Republicans are going to vote on party lines to get those people in there because that's what Trump wants. That's what Trump needs. And if Trump wants it, we don't give a damn where these people have the IQ of a fucking snail. We're going to put them in because that's what Trump wants. They don't give a damn about this country. They care about pleasing him. It's not about serving the country. That shit's a myth. It's always really been a myth. Now it's even more apparent. They pledge and swear an oath. They pledge an oath to serve Donald Trump. That's it. Ain't nobody. If anybody thinks otherwise, you got a hole through your head. But it just galls me to have these damn hearings and stuff. For what? The only person they bounced out and kept from getting in was Matt Gaetz, and that was a no-brainer, of course. The rest of them are no-brainers as well. But you look at a guy who was a 4-star general in General Austin, decorated. Oh, they'll say he's a DEI too, but the man's got more medals than gold medal. They turn around and they decide to put the Fox host in. as Secretary of Defense because what? He served in the military once. Hell, so did I. And nobody called me for that position. That'd be just like me taking it. I'll take the money, but that's about all I'd be taking before they take my ass out of there. Because I wouldn't know what the hell I was doing in that joint. But you know what? I think I'd be smart enough to ask people in the damn place to give me some help and some directions. Nope. Hedge set and the rest of these clowns that Trump has assembled in his cabinet, they just coming in with bold accusations and bold recommendations and bulldozers, blowtorches, and everything else to just go ahead and just obliterate and smash the so-called deep state. I'm still trying to figure out, okay, y'all gonna tear down everything and blow it up and obliterate it, and you're gonna replace it with what? All those executive orders that Captain Bone Spurs has been initiating, hell, 99% of them are unlawful and unconstitutional. That's why he's getting his ass towed up right now in the courts. But see, the courts, they're not really designed to save us because they can't react until after the fact. They don't get into action until the crime is committed. And we got a show enough criminal committing crimes right now. It's a mess, but he's catching hell right now too. And speaking of him, let me speak a little bit about what this imbecile president of yours, who can't be bothered with any real kitchen table issues that all of you white folks, Latinos, and blacks for Trump were crying about that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris supposedly weren't doing enough of. So here you go, idiots, you got them. Old King Herod here is crying about we not doing enough. The country's in shambles. The country just going to hell, going to waste. And he ain't doing shit about it. Like I said, old King Herod, here he is sitting on his rusty, dusty, crusty ass, grandstanding and having one of his billionaire cabinet picks, Doug Burgum, he drooling all over Trump's ass as he signs a worthless piece of shit called an executive privilege, basically, proclaiming to the world that he has named the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Based on that monumental feat, I guess the price of eggs and gas and groceries should drop precipitously tomorrow morning, right? See, this orange-faced buffoon, now, he claimed what he did was bigger than the Super Bowl because, once again, the dementia and the deranged mental state of his mind, this fool cannot stand it when something big like the Super Bowl doesn't want or don't need his ass, but he's got to find a way to squeeze his ass in there to make it all about him. One fucking evening, America can enjoy a sporting event without this lumbering oaf got his ass all up in the mix. See, we can't have a 3-hour period without having to listen to him lie in or out of something. He's like a boyfriend or a husband who won't obey a restraining order. No one really gives a shit about what that body of water means or what it is called But you got these assholes like, former Governor Burgum. Well, all he wants to do is get his ass up there and kiss Trump's ass. It's like he got to be slow upstairs. You know what I mean? He got to be because he couldn't beat Trump. In the campaign for president, and he knows Trump is nutso. So Burgum's going to decide to go ahead and prostrate himself, just skinning and grinning, just like a dope, and praising this nut job about the wonderful job he's doing. And thank you, Mr. President, for allowing me to caress your nuts on Air Force One. I appreciate it. So Trump clearly doesn't know what a president is supposed to be doing in office anyway. Now he wants to become chairman of the Kennedy Center. Well, maybe that's a job he can learn to be good in. I don't know. Maybe he can handle that one. Who knows? He damn sure can handle the one he's in right now. We know this. So let's move on to this lame brains interview he had with Brett Baier of Fox. Now, Trump's so full of shit that even when he gets tossed some little softball questions, he fucks them up and shows all of us, any of us who's paying attention, that is, that he is clueless to what he should do about anything. And definitely about this country and fixing the things that he caused. Case in point. All right, Brett Baier asked this blithering idiot about when does he feel or think that families will feel prices are going down. But see, here's when Fox and all the right-wing reporters and journalists, they try to help this dumb clown out with the answer by providing him with an alternative to the original question instead of letting him figure it out on his own, because they know he's incapable of doing that. So Brett Baier continues, or are you saying to them, hang on, inflation may get worse until it gets better? See, that's what Fox and fools do all the time. They have that pinch of sliding Trump and get out of hell free card. So when he doesn't keep his promise of dropping gas prices and grocery prices, well, including egg prices, because he honestly doesn't know the difference between the two. He'll say that later, that, I inherited a mess from Joe Biden. But anyway, Trump does the predictable, and he starts to rev up his lie machine. He starts off answering Brett's question by not answering the question. See, Grandpa got lost in his lies again, and he starts meandering around. So Trump answered the question by saying, no, I think we're going to be rich and he couldn't even finish the word a nation because he was on to the next sentence, but he gets so discombobulated what he's trying to lie about. It shit is all fragmented when he's talking. Look, we're not that rich right now. We are $36 trillion. That's because we let all these nations take advantage of us. Same thing like 200 billion with Canada. We owe 300 billion. We have a deficit with Mexico, $350 billion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen. Wait, bitch. Before you go any further, you were elected on the promise that came out of your chicken chucking mouth that you were going to lower gas, eggs, and grocery prices on day one. Immediately. and stop all of the conflicts around the world because everybody fears your wrath. They fear the Donald, according to you. So this buzzard, he pivoted from Baier's questions straight to the Canada and Mexico trade agreement and how we are getting the short end of the deal, like Stormy Daniels did with him. But anyway, but folks, guess who was the fucking genius who negotiated the trade agreement between those two countries? And while y'all thinking about this, I'll wait. Without this coffee, I wouldn't be able to make it tonight or this morning. You gave it up? What'd you say, man? Oh, you got the answer? That's my boy. He's on the job. Old Donald the Clown said, man, that shit's easy. It was old Foghorn Leghorn. Old Trump. He's the one that negotiated that damn shit. Okay? Now, this idiot. Now, remember, in his first stint as president, he was just losing his mind, crying about how we getting taken to the cleaners by all these different countries, had to pick a fight with Mexico and Canada over trade. So he had to show how brilliant and a genius he was by blowing up the NAFTA agreement and coming up with what he created, which he called USMCA. Now, for y'all who don't remember or don't know, it stands for United States, Mexico, Canada Agreement. Okay. But Trump fucks himself and still can't even feel it. And again, Stormy Daniels can identify with that, but I digress. Baier continues to interview with this moron by asking him, have you thought about how to bring the country together, to reach out to find common ground? Have you thought about that or how that would go? Trump started to lie again, of course, and said, I love to do that, but I would say this. We have to come together, but there is only one thing that I would do with it, and that is massive success. Success will bring the country together, but it's hard. And I say it's hard. I just signed a bill allowing women not to be punished in sports. In other words, men are not allowed to play in sports. Against women, it's ridiculous. So, oh great one, pray tell, how does that work? Since I guess that's the secret sauce to success in America. See, old Trump and old Congress model Nancy Mace and the Kentucky Colonel James Comer, they've been banning trans women from peeing in the Capitol toilets and making life hell for these Americans because Trump and the evangelicals hate them. But see, at least Kamala Harris laid out coherent plans when they were debating, and you brought to the table nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. You did say you had a concept of a plan. Little did we know it was Project 2025 that you lied about anyway and said you knew nothing about it. So at least former President Biden actually implemented some plans and policies and got things done, such as the American Rescue Plan, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, attempting to uh, eliminate student debt, trying to codify Roe v. Wade. Since you are such a protector of women, yet you are firing women from their jobs currently and allowing the Secretary of Defense to get rid of women's accomplishments in the military, and also you were one of the main proponents to eliminate Roe v. Wade, but yeah, you're protecting women. Okay, gotcha. Biden also invested heavily in manufacturing infrastructure, which is just a pipe dream to you, Trump. Back in the day when you were running things, you never did a damn thing when it came to infrastructure. Except that one time, yeah, you did break ground with some of those. I think they were either from China or Japan. Or no, I think they were from Taiwan. They were going to build that plant that never developed and never came to fruition because it was a pipe dream. And somebody got paid and you got shitty because you probably get no loot out of that one. But that's your objective all the time. If some money ain't involved, you ain't involved. Okay. So, like I said, Biden and Harris, they didn't think about withholding aid from disaster victims. But you're sorry, rotten ass. Oh, you got to have it. See, you too busy. One, trying to buy Greenland, changing the Gulf's name, wanting to annex Canada as a 51st state, threatening Mexico, trying to tariff the whole damn world, sicking an unelected billionaire sociopath on all of our government agencies along with his little young zombie friends, and giving them access to our citizens' information without clearances. And don't forget carrying out the directives of Project 2025, because those are your handlers. So, in summation, because I've just barely touched on all the bullshit you've been perpetrating and all of your corruption, these are just some of the reasons you don't have any tangible results from your first few weeks in office, because you just wanted to become president again so you can A, escape a prison stint that you so richly deserve, B, you want to seek revenge on all the people who dared hold your crooked criminal ass accountable, and C, you crave to be master of all, a dictator. But I'm here to tell you right now, Trump, shit looks bad. You really doing your best, and your cohorts, they doing the damage right now to just destroy everything, just to suit your benefactors and your donors' need for greed. Okay, but you know what? It'll never happen because you're just simply a train wreck. And letting all your fellow criminals out of prison, it ain't gonna help your ass either. Hell, some of them were back in prison before lights out were given the day they were released. And others were killed because they are criminals, just like you. Crook. You and your incompetent, blundering flunkies are going to go down straight to the bottom, down the drain, right along with your ass, because you ain't nothing but a wharf rat anyway, and it's just a matter of time, because you are an embarrassment, and the Republicans are going to pay for it again in the midterms. And as you would say, believe me, Trump, it's been a pleasure talking about your sorry ass, and I'll be continuing to talk about your raggedy ass for days to come, because I know you ain't gonna never disappoint us. I couldn't hardly stomach listening to you talk and babble and ramble and talk about nothing. because you ain't done nothing except fuck shit up like you always do. You've got that penchant, you've got that proclivity, as they say, and you would never let us down because you are a disaster waiting to happen, a walking virus. And everybody who touches the hem of your garment, they get infected. Some kind of way, somehow, they get all fucked up. And if you don't believe me, just go back and look at the records. Look at the annals. Look at the bodies and the companies that have just been strewn around in your wake because you're just like a damn hurricane just coming through a Cat 5, destroying anything and everything in your path. Ask Mike Lindell, the pillow man. My pillow. That, to me, is one of the most outstanding displays of sheer ignorance in a so-called businessman that I've ever seen in my life. This man, Lindell, had a damn empire going, selling people some pillows. Ain't no better than any other pillow, pretty much, but he branded the shit, and the name, I mean, it was so simple, people loved it. Now, I can't attest to how good his pillows were, honestly, because I never slept on one. Really didn't need one. I already got a pillow. But he was making a killing. It was kind of like the pet rock back in the 70s and shit, when it was popular and made some people a fortune, a freaking rock. And people got paid off of it, big time. My pillow was making a killing. It was on commercials all the damn time. My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. It seems like people got to have a my pillow. Now, Mike Lindell, he needs a pillow, one that helps him sleep at night because his ass is in financial hock. He had to run around and traipse around the country following Trump like a dog, wagging his tail. Everywhere Trump went, he was there, skulking around and slinking around and slithering around the White House like he's some goddamn spy. Guy on the phone like he's important, like he's making things happen. He didn't do nothing but dig his own grave. Hanging around Trump. And now where is he at now? Ducking and dodging from creditors. Yeah, he messed around and placed a stupid damn contest out there for somebody to solve some kind of puzzle or some shit he had put up, and the guy solved it for $5 million. Now Lindell don't want to pay the dude. Go figure. Wonder why. Possible because he ain't got no $5 million anymore. He threw all his millions away to Trump. And it's so funny and ironic that he needs financial help bad now. And to my knowledge, Trump ain't gave him a nickel. But Trump helped Rudy out because Rudy know where all those dead bodies are. Rudy knows where those skeletons are in that closet, see. So Trump ain't gonna try to mess that deal up. But Lindell, you a Johnny come lately. And on top of that, here's how stupid Lindell is. He got into financial straits fucking around with Trump. Then I guess he couldn't make his payroll, so he borrowed $600,000 from some buy here, pay here place, commonly known as payday loan. They tore his ass up. So when that money, that $600,000 evaporated real quick, like a fart in a snowstorm or a wind or in a tornado, however you want to describe it. It went quick. It went fast. He went back and re-upped for another one. I think to the tune of about $2 million, something like that. That wasn't enough either. So he came back for thirds and got another payday. Bam! Fucking interest was more than the damn principal. Hung his ass. Now he crying the courts because them people want their money. And he crying the blues talking about, they took advantage of me. They predators. They knew they were taking advantage of me. They charging all this interest. I can't pay for it, Your Honor. They just took advantage of me. They're loan sharks. And I'm thinking, they might be because they advertise, by law, they have to advertise their interest rates, but uh, they know slow turtles like you going to be floating through the damn water. You're going to get snagged. You were desperate. You needed their money. Now you don't want to pay them back on their terms. And now you crying like you were victimized. Back on that crack again, ain't you? You know, hey, Lindell, you know, you thought the shit was funny going on Jimmy Kimmel and all those shows, making a clown out of yourself. Shit ain't funny now, is it? Ain't seen too much of you lately crying about your situation and talking all that old big trash about Trump and you know, you one of his biggest defenders. You got awful quiet now. Like you almost got a laryngitis or something. But hopefully, he didn't learn his lesson. I doubt it, but that's another example. And there's so many others, like Steve Bannon. Uh, uh, oh boy, what's his name? Peter Navarro. They became jailbirds because they were fucking around with Trump. And I think Bannon's looking at a motherfucking another court date coming up for him. Trump. And Trump, the only one of all these people, he's the only one that ain't seen the inside of that jail cell and then committed more crimes than everybody in this country damn near combined right now. To his credit, he done bullshitted and bamboozled the law like a pro because he's always been a professional con artist and a professional liar. That's been his trademark. And America got you again. All I can say is, hang on, folks. This ride is going to be bumpy and rough. It's going to be a lot of turbulence along the way. But you know what? I think eventually the Democrats going to land this ship. We're going to land this plane. You know what I'm saying? So just hang in there. Some of you are going to catch some rough times, but you know, might be me. Might be a lot of us. But one thing for sure, I ain't throwing in the towel because Donald Trump is just one man. He got a lot of people behind him that's supporting him and that's doing a lot of illegal shit for him. And that's what's going to get them hung too. I've said it many times. Trump is going to get a lot of people in legal calamity and legal straits because they're going to do things that are unconstitutional and illegal. And he's going to hide behind the presidential seal and feign ignorance and claim he didn't know nothing about what they were doing on his behalf. Watch. Just like the first time. He's at it again. Me and Donald the Clown, we out.